Copy. Hey, real quick, guys, there's some weird kind of clip in the Matrix video issue going on with the earlier and mid portion of this video. I do figure it out before the video ends, and I do fix the issue later on. I apologize for that, but stick with it. The content here matters, in my opinion. I'm not saying that because I'm the person doing it, but I am saying that because I think that we need to have this conversation. Also, oops on the audio too. Enjoy. Alright, we are back at it again. Yeah, I have uploaded this video before. I have taken it down so I could redo it now that I am a bit more comfortable. I would like to present this subject hopefully a little bit better. Now, it's been kind of a crazy couple of days, and on top of all of that, I no longer smoke. I'm not quite used to that yet, but my energy is a little bit scattered. It's real high, it's real low, it's real everywhere. It's a great time, but so if I space out a little bit here and there, I'll do my best to edit it out, make it fun or whatever. But oops. Now, hopefully, I could do this without getting too personal, but I do have to talk at least a little bit about my gender experience. I have no gender. None. You have this gender, that gender, and then all the other genders, and I don't have a single one of them. It's fantastic. I am agender, genderless. I love it, but that is my experience. But not everyone's going to be comfortable in their experience to where they're able to be out to everyone, out at work, home, family, relationships, school, whatever the gig is. And understandably, so it is it's not always safe. It's not. Real talk. And it could also be very difficult inwardly, say for external influences. Inside, it could be a difficult thing to deal with. And yeah, we are talking about this more in the mainstream, but there are certain places where we aren't talking about it, and the spiritual community is one of those places. But regardless of that, we do bring up gender-like stuff all the time, talking about masculinity and femininity, and I think that those two portions of energy, as we like to describe them, should be altered. I don't think that we should continue to keep the same language, because that same language, it doesn't apply to everyone and doesn't apply all of the time, right? Like, you could talk about how something's masculine today and the same thing could be feminine tomorrow, right? But there's no reason to be imposing these binaries, especially given that the spirit honestly isn't. Is it really masculine? Is it really feminine? Or are those concepts that we devised, right? Of course, there is more to this discussion than my distaste for certain language. Gender does play a role in the spiritual self, in the inner self, in the self that is excluded from the influences of the world, of society, and the machine mind, and so on and so forth. You know where I'm going with that. It is also a very complex thing. It's complicated. Again, like I said, I am agender. I don't experience gender in the way that people who experience gender. Woo. But it's complicated. It's not like black and white like that, because I have been on hormone replacement therapy for like a year, and I would hate to be off of it because I don't feel comfortable in the body that I was born with. I just don't. And some people do. It's fine. By the way, fine. It's valid. Don't be a jerk. I feel like somewhere in between a cliche male body and a cliche female body and the rest of aesthetic is kind of where I feel more comfortable. I mean, maybe one day I'll go the opposite of where I'm going now and just be like, I don't know, really cool and like smooth everywhere. That'd be good, but probably difficult to do certain things. Hopefully I got that weird clipping. By the way, I just kind of like realized through like pre-editing that that there's some obnoxious sudden clipping. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe I'm not alone right now. Who knows? Either way, sorry. I only really had 2 main points for this portion of this subject. We are going to talk more about this. Nobody gets left behind in this expansion of love and compassion and community. Nobody. We're not gonna do that. And any ways that we have been doing that, we're gonna drop. Okay, or at least we need to. We need to think very hard about letting go of old beliefs and old patterns and old cycles that no longer serve us or the community or our peers. Yeah, my TV's doing weird things too. I don't know, maybe there's just like, God, am I in another portal? I'm gonna get hit by lightning? They're gonna be aliens. Uh-oh. Alright, I think I resolved the problem. We'll find out. If not, I don't know what the problem is, and that's going to drive me. I'm not gonna like it. I think we resolved the problem, so yeah. Yay. So, my 2 points. One is that we need to alter our language in the spiritual community and open up avenues to have conversations about stuff like this as a part of our teachings and our basic usual communication conversation, because this is a part of that. We shouldn't be neglecting it, especially if we're doing so out of fear, out of what our peers or in whatever shape are going to think about us, how they're going to judge us. Who cares? The second main takeaway, main point to this video, to this conversation, is that in order to further achieve authenticity and consequently places of peace and confidence, we have to embrace parts of ourselves that expand past the conversations that we normally have. You know, like our addictions and our distractions and so on and so forth. We have to start getting into things that are a little bit more complicated and sometimes a lot bit more personal and more difficult to talk about. I'm going to start to have the conversation, and hopefully that helps. It is time that we redefine our understandings of the gender experience in a way that we haven't before. It is a time for us to embrace all of the aspects of our being into the entirety of our being, and to stop segregating these things based on a field of topic. Okay? This is one of the issues that I personally experience, one that I know is very dear and near to people who experience it, and one that is very complex and one that doesn't get enough support. So I'm going to do work with this and on this subject, as well as other stuff, but this is going to be one of those things. As always, I love you. You are loved. You are worth loving. Go you. Have a beautiful day, and I hope that everything that you need and want right now comes your way. All the blessings, all the love. Mwah.